Abuja city centre is once again playing host to hundreds of thousands of legal minds. It is the gathering of the nation's lawyers for the 58th NBA conference with the theme Transition, Transformation and Sustainable Institutions. The conference covers areas like political transition and governance, technological disruptions, diversions and inclusions, sustainable economic development and rule of law and security. President Buhari opens the conference with what is clearly an explanation for the continuous detention of some individuals in spite of court orders.
Rule of law must be subject to the supremacy of the nation's security and the national interest. Our apex court has had calls to adopt a position on this issue in this regard, and it is now a matter of judicial recognition that where national security and public interests are threatened, or there is a likelihood of their being threatened, the individual rights of those allegedly responsible must take second place in favor of the greater good of society. I trust that this conference will achieve tremendous success, and I urge that you all to participate actively in its various intellectual and social activities in order to build new bonds and strengthen old relationships. I congratulate the incoming National Executive of the Nigerian Bar Association, led by Mr. Paul Osoro, SAN, and wish it a successful tenure in its task of advancing legal practice in Nigeria.
Chief Justice of Nigeria and the NBA President also spoke at the opening session.
Consequently, in the event of electoral disputes, the judiciary must be able to play the role of independent, dispassionate arbiter without fear of favor, affection, or ill will. Members of the bar are also intrinsically relevant to the success of this process. In less than a year from today, Nigeria will be conducting her general elections into the executive and legislative arms of government at federal and state levels. It is expected that the elections will reflect the will of the majority of the electorate. However, the bar must partner with key stakeholders to play the critical role of transition and voter education to ensure that eligible members of the public are properly enlightened on the need to participate in the process and conduct themselves lawfully.
We think it is the responsibility of the federal government to fund federal security operations in the states, rather than creating heavy additional burdens on scarce state resources. Such security operations should not be allowed to create an opaque avenue for public expenditure which diverts resources that cannot be adequately accounted for. Mr. President, many community leaders also lament the inability of the state and courts, the police and courts, to bring the bandits to justice, even when they are apprehended. It appears that there is an urgent need to come to the aid of the state civil justice system.
The conference ends on August 30, 2018. Emmanuel Bagudu, PTV News, Abuja.